Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I'm JT O'Sullivan. Today, Tom Brady's last pass as a Patriot. I think it encompasses a lot of what he's been dealing with lately, what he might be dealing with moving forward, gives us a bunch of good life lessons. I'm fired up for it. A deep dive, one play. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. All right, before we get into the nuance and detail of this video and that last play, I really want to talk briefly about endings and what it means to be coming towards the end of your playing career. And so this idea, and you see it more often than we probably realize it, especially I think it resonates more when they are the top tier players, but so many players go through this at the end of their career where it just doesn't end the way that you think it's going to end. You know, very few people win the Super Bowl and retire. Now, sure, it happens, and it's great when it does, but the vast majority of people get kicked out of the league. And what I mean by that is they might have a retirement ceremony, but they're either getting kicked out of the league because of health issues or because they can't get paid what they think that they're owed, or that they can't find another spot that will allow them to play for even the minimum. And so it's fascinating for me to see the stars, the elite, the best of the best, you know, Tom Brady, probably the best quarterback to ever do it. And the team that he did it for 2 decades can't come to an agreement to have that thing finish the way that it probably should. Now, whose fault is it? You know, without being in the room or on the phone, nobody knows. But I can tell you that for me, it's not really a sad thing. For me, it's a respect thing for someone. He just wants to keep competing. You know, I think that's always been the thing that's the hardest for people, you know, outside the little bubble that is the NFL to realize that once you're done forever. But it's a hard thing to turn off. It's not just throwing a football or putting on the pads or putting on a helmet or being in the locker room or in the huddle. You are competing at the highest level. And if you have an opportunity to do that in a different jersey, go get it. Do you, and do it as long as you possibly can, because once, you know, you go in the booth or once you go into the corner office, it's not the same. And so for me, I'm always in this like level of awe for guys who have been so good at one spot and are willing to say, you know what, I can't stop. I'm addicted to this competition thing. I'm going to keep it going, and I'm going to go bet on myself and turn around another franchise that is in no way close to the way that the Patriots are run, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to bet on myself and go do it. And, you know, you think of guys like Favre with the Vikings, Montana with the Chiefs, and they go and they have some success. And it's fun to watch. And yeah, it might not be the storybook ending, but it's still their ending. And they deserve to go get whatever they can at the end of their career. And I'm excited to see where Tom Brady lands and how he finishes this thing off. So video-wise, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell. Get the notifications. When we go live, when we put out new content, trying to put out as much as we possibly can right now. I appreciate the support for the channel. In addition, you want to get nuts, please join. Get the memberships, get the badges, get the emojis, new colors popping up every single month. I'm fired up about the support for the channel. Keep this thing growing. Thanks so much. Let's dive into the video. All right, so Brady's last pass as a Patriot. My goodness, a pick six, just absolutely hosed by Sanu off to the right. Now, it's a combination of things with Watson and the coverage and a bunch of different elements, but we're going to get a little short motion right here from Sanu at the bottom of the screen. Coming down, he's going to run like a hook, and it just reeks. There's no other way to describe it. We'll see it from the all-22. He puts a turn signal down. He puts the landing gear down. And it's just absolute a bummer on so many different levels. But it really encompasses what Brady was dealing with there the last few years. I know, obviously, some of his skills might have declined. You know, hasn't played as consistently well as he has over the course of his amazing career. But the fact that he was out there with some guys that just weren't operating at the same level that I think the expectation is that they operate in that organization, you know, it felt like he was out there a little bit by himself. And this is just a straight up, there's no way around it. Like, I'm not a Brady apologist, or I don't pretend to be, but this is a terrible route and an absolute bummer to end on. You know, such a great career, home playoff loss, just getting absolutely beat up. And you see him just sitting there at the bench by himself, nobody even coming over to him. And at this point, I just remember thinking to myself, oh, that's a wrap. But I think it's important to peel back the layers and realize, you know, is he declining, or was it around him declining? Because I think it's worth looking into. And when you look at the all-22 film, You're going to see Sanu down here to the bottom of the screen. He's going to come in short motion. This is quarters or bracket coverage. So let me quickly talk about coverage-wise here, what's going on. So really, I don't care what you call this thing. This is middle field open. And you can call it quarters, you can call it bracket, you can call it whatever it is without knowing the nuance and details of this thing, of what they got going on. But he's able to just kind of hang here. And he's not threatened because Watson right here is on the same age as Brady, just about, running a post clear. And to me, this route really doesn't do it justice. It goes too far inside and allows Ryan to kind of creep off this thing and allow this thing to come into play for the hook and get the set off the volleyball. Offensively, we're going to get Sanu coming down here, motioning down. The reason you motion down is to make sure you get the leverage you want on the corner. So you want him on your outside to run this kind of hook at him. Now, the thing to pay attention to here is you're going to get this corner coming off, safety hanging out in here. He's not paying attention to the post. We'll watch through. And really, in these quarters or bracket things, you run this post clear to hold that safety off. So if you don't get him and he hangs off over here, now it's essentially a 2-on-1. You got this corner sitting, breaking on this absolutely horrific hook route where he comes in, turn signal, stop, slow turn, and watch the corner just come out and absolutely drive right down the street, right on him. And that's the corner you want. That's Brock. That's the matchup they probably like. But again, watch Watson here on the post running through the number 2. You know, he's not blowing that safety out of there by any means. He's not even in a pedal. Whether this is bracket or just hanging tough, I don't care what you call it. It's almost zero with the way the safeties are just looking at Brady. Now let's watch this hook from Sanu down here at the bottom. Watch him put his right arm out at like the 8-yard line. I'm going to slow this thing down crazy slow. Right there, that little turn signal. Then he goes all the way to the 12. Look at the corner coming down. That's what the way that the corner is driving that ball from the 15. Brock is the same way that Sanu should be coming back to the ball. Now, who's coming back to the ball and who's not? And then it gets volleyball set it up for a pick 6, and it's just an absolute terrible feeling. And it summarizes so much of what I thought Brady was going through in this last season, really the last few seasons with what's going on in the perimeter there. But again, he gets that thing off. The pass protection is great. Only rushing 2, for goodness sake. But come out, look at Watson going down the middle of the field. Ryan, 26, not even paying attention to him. So then he's able to drive down and get that batted ball up for the walk-in. And it's just a bummer on a bunch of different levels. But I don't think, for as much as the perception of the decline of Tom Brady, anytime you're in your early 40s, you're probably not going to be doing it as well as you were doing it when you were in your prime, at your late 20s, early 30s. But to say that it was just him, and that's the reason for the offensive struggles, or that they're better off without him, to me just doesn't make sense. Now, they might come out here and catch lightning in a bottle, and Bill Belichick might be that good of a coach, and he might be looking for a different type of challenge. Both those guys might. Time has come. But, I just take a moment to realize that that's the last pass of probably the greatest career of any one quarterback. It's pretty surreal. And there's a little bit of, I don't know if sadness is the right word, but at least a moment of reflection to realize what he's been fighting through, what they've been fighting through the last few years. And I'm excited to see Brady get a fresh start somewhere else. Let me know what you think about the video. I appreciate the support for the channel. See you next time.